Hey Aaron, it's Ted. I'm going to type this thing out. It's really probably easier if I can give you a demonstration. That's why I wanted to see if you had a Skype account. Number one, if you've already got a digital video camera, you can use it as a webcam if you don't have a webcam. This one's got a little USB port here, and there's a way to set this up so I can use it as a webcam, or I can have it to use Stream TV and stream live over the internet. So don't go out and buy new equipment if you've already got that. You should really be getting into a laptop that's got a webcam built in so you can do things like I'm doing right now. This little Canon HC or whatever 38, I think is what it is. It's a 38, yeah, HC 38. It takes the tapes. I think I have them here, and the only reason why I'm stuck with the tapes, and they're cheap, I can carry a bunch of them. I don't run out of space. If I'm on a hard drive, I'm not in the situation where I've got to offload a hard drive somewhere, just pop in a new tape. Tapes are delicate, they can break, they store digitally, so that's not the issue there. And they're harder, you got to scroll through them. On the hard drive or the camera or on the memory sticks, you can just offload those onto your computer. The super high definition newer cameras, you got to be careful because some of the software has trouble with that, working with that type of format. The other thing is that if you're uploading to YouTube, Vidler, or any of these sites, those are Ferrari cameras, and these sites are going to compress your video down so much that, you know, spending a ton of money on those cameras right now to me just doesn't seem like a solution. The other thing is you got to decide what you're shooting. You know, are you making community pieces? Are you doing listing presentations? If you're doing a listing video like I do, I've got a stabilizer that I bought in England. The camera goes on top and it balances on this handle, and that gets rid of all the shaking that you see without having to use software stabilization. So you can do things like that. I'm going to probably be moving to the Canon HV30. I'll post a picture in here after I shoot this video, and the reason why I'm going to move to that is that the filter size on this section, you can screw in filters, is larger, and I'm going to be moving to a standard camera lens that's going to mount on the front of that camera so I can get a real depth of field and film quality look to my listing videos. I want to move those listing videos up a notch and make them really different than what other people are doing or people are planning on doing in the future. So the tape doesn't bother me. I don't necessarily need the hard drive camera. I think that that's a nice little camera. It's expensive. You start getting up over $800. It's a different camera. This camera, $300 and under all day long. You can see how dented and scratched and beat up. This fits in my suit coat pocket. It fits in my briefcase. It goes everywhere. You make sure you carry around a couple extra batteries, but it's not the greatest camera. Here's the other problem. There's the microphone. No external inputs for an external mic, which makes things tough when I want to do interviewing and things like that. So you really got to come down with a list of things you need. I don't like the little pocket cameras in the sense that there's a lot of things that they lack that you need. This I can set what's called the white balance. So if I'm shooting under fluorescent lights, I can shoot it. I can set this for indoor. It'll correct the white balance. People won't look orange. If I go outside, I can set it for outside. So those are important little features you can look at. You should be doing that on a 35mm camera as well. All right, what I'm going to talk about now is a little bit about software, and this is really important in that there's a lot of different things. If you got a Windows PC, I think the best deal out there is the Photoshop Adobe Premiere Elements bundle. Both of those, Photoshop Elements and Premiere Elements, are bundled together in one package. By the time you get it with the rebates off Amazon, you're going to be under $100. As a real estate agent, you can't get a better deal. You need to be able to do the editing that you got in Photoshop, and the editing in Premiere Elements is perfect. Remember, the one thing everyone forgets when they rush out and they buy like Vega for $700 or some of these other higher-end programs, videos like I'm doing right now, that you can't spend all day working on these things. You can't put the amount of time and hour and effort into these things because most of these things get watched a little bit. They're on They may sit on the internet forever, but they don't get huge, gigantic. You're not having hundreds of thousands of people look at this. So you need to be quick, fast, make it look as good as possible. You'll see most of the videos I shoot is all natural lighting. There's some things that handicap me when I do that because I don't get as good a color quality. But you know, how much time and money are you going to put into 2 minute or 3 minute short videos? So the PC side, you want Premiere. Okay, so at this point I'm going to pitch the Mac and get everyone upset with PCs, and for a very good reason. We sell. We're presenters. When you want to sell something, you want to present something, you want the best materials possible, but you also want to get it done in the easiest, quickest, fastest time. I've edited on both systems. I've edited in Windows Movie Maker, in Adobe Premiere Elements, and now in iMovie and Final Cut Express. The point is, on the Mac side, is that they make this thing easy to do. It just drag and drop. Very, very graphical, you know, going all the way back 25 years to the early days of the Mac, the same old thing. And finding files and putting things in, you don't have to dig through the layers that you do trying to attach things on the Windows side. So it's just a point is if you want to be efficient and you want to put out something that looks good real fast, the advantage is just going to come in on the Apple side, hands down. If you can't afford to go up to the Mac computer, you can do it all on Windows, but I just say, hey, you don't need anything more than Premiere Elements on the top end. You can get away with Windows Movie Maker for the time being until you can step into something different. You don't need the big high-end packages on either side. You don't need Final Cut Studio. You don't need Premiere Pro or what, you know, Final Cut Pro or Premiere Studio or whatever they are, or even Vega's like $700. We're making short videos. Short videos have a small audience and a short time span, even though they sit on the internet forever. Just get out there and make them the best you can, and hopefully you can move up into some better tools as you get going.